Hey everyone, I'm Nick.
I'm Sam.
And welcome to No Questions Left Behind. This is a follow-up from our Wednesday, November 16th YouTube Live that was primarily focused on all of our SEMA new products.
Yeah, all of our brand new products, most of which aren't even out yet. We got a lot of questions. So many questions. I think we have the smallest font possible.
It's got to be 4 or 5 points, so you're going to have to bear with us.
Yeah.
But we had a great event. We had a ton of viewers. We had a goal to get to 1,000 likes. We did not quite get there, but we had over 3,500 unique comments on YouTube alone.
And you guys' effort was so great. I think we got close to 900. Right?
Look, we consulted with the bean counters, and we got them to give the card away.
They said go for it.
We are giving it away. And the way we did it is we took all those comments, sorted by author, eliminated duplicates, and put it into a randomizer wheel on Google.
Yeah.
So that was a more objective than a Formula One.
And even though we eliminated duplicates to make it fair, it was quite impressive how many comments some of you submitted in that 5-minute time.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. So thank you guys so much for participating. But that was the way that we could make it most fair, right? How many unique visitors are here, and how can we just randomly select one to use? So
not everybody has a perfect internet connection.
Yeah, and we documented it, so we're going to show you how we landed on our winner right now. All right, so we've got all of the names of everybody who commented when we asked them, including the posted comments afterwards. We've got a randomizer right here. We're going to spin the wheel, baby. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Luis Mendoza. Congratulations, buddy. You just got a ton of free stuff from Griot's Garage. Be sure to tune in, redeem your prize, email us at social@griotsgarage.com. We're going to get you all that awesome stuff. All right. So hopefully that is about as clear, fair, as objective of a way of picking a winner as possible.
Spinning the wheel.
So congratulations, Luis Mendoza. You have until Tuesday, the 23rd, right before Thanksgiving, to email us at social@griotsgarage and claim your prize. We're also going to need your shoe size because you're going to get a custom pair of Vans.
Oh, yeah. You are about to get hooked up.
But that was a great live event. We didn't quite reach our goal, but again, we just said, hey, that was the best one we've ever done.
Yeah,
so we're going to give this thing away.
It was outstanding. As we said at the end, we love you guys. Your support and enthusiasm is always second to none.
And Luis, obviously, if you claim your prize, you got to take some photos for us, show it off, so that we can show it back to everybody else. And we also gave away a set of whiskey glasses to our friend Richard.
Yes.
Who was drinking Weller 12. We had quite a few bourbon fans chime in.
Yeah.
So, you know, anything like that, we love hearing from you guys. We may give away a set of the SEMA liquids today, too, for some of our exceptional participants, of which there are many in all of these questions.
You guys are always awesome with the question engagement, so thank you.
Okay, so these aren't necessarily in order because, again, we have so many of them. So we're probably going to jump around a little bit, but we're going to answer every question we did not get to, and we're just going to go.
Yeah.
So who wants? You want to go first?
Let's do it.
Okay.
23 Do the Do asked, is there an iron remover in the wheel and tire cleaner? No, there is not. That is only in our HD wheel cleaner and our iron and fallout remover. Wheel tire mat cleaner is an all-purpose, if you will, for your wheels, tires, and mats. Does not contain iron remover.
All right. This isn't a question, but Adam Urbanski states, Nick's catchphrase for everything now should be minus the cocaine and steroids. I did an okay job. So thank you. That was in relation to the Macho Man impersonation. Adam, I'm glad you approve. After that, Alan Friedlander asked the PSI on our pressure washer. We get a lot of questions about our setup.
Yeah.
And you know, in our foaming lives, we kind of coach through like how to mate your foam cannon with your pressure washer to get your ideal foam setup. So as Sam related last night, we are using an AR613. It's an industrial grade pressure washer from a PSI perspective. I think it's about 1600 PSI.
That one's 1900.
1900 PSI, has a higher GPM. And
2 GPM.
Yeah, so that combination has allowed us to gear our particular foam cannon to the correct jet. And then, of course, dilution ratio and water quality are enormous factors in foam production. Yep. So if you ever have any questions, you can always call our customer service on how to optimize your foam. I know I spent a lot of time with some people at SEMA kind of trying to get their foam setup dialed in so you can get the foam that we're representing. It is not fake. It's not over diluted or under diluted in terms of putting more product in the foam cannon than is necessary. We just know how to dial it in.
Yep. Yeah, Amber Atkinson asked a great question. She said, I moved away from using soaps and tend to use rinseless wash now. That citrus cleaner would be a great pre-treat, diluted anywhere from 5-to-1 to 10-to-1. Yes, absolutely, it would be. So the citrus all-purpose cleaner that we showed you guys yesterday, you can dilute that at 4-to-1, 10-to-1, or 20-to-1. And that will give you a wide range of versatility for everything from interior cleaning down to engine and parts degreasing.
Yeah, and the lowest one just being general purpose cleaning, right?
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of utility out of that product. Pre-treating is definitely an awesome option. Granted, again, it will be soapier than a rinseless solution. Yeah. So you may have to go over that with your rinseless a couple times to get rid of the actual soap residue.
Depending on what dilution you're using in that, for sure.
Okay, let's see. Arthur Martinez, can we pre-order the sprayer? I think you're talking about the lithium-ion foamer and sprayer. None of these products are currently available for pre-order, but if you search them specifically, so the cordless foamer and sprayer on griotsgarage.com, you can sign up to receive an email to either indicate when it's going to be in stock and you can order it, or when it is actually in stock. So that's the best option we have right now. We've already committed to ordering these goods, and in particular the chemicals that we're making in very large quantities right now. So as they come live, that's the best way we can let you know, because our production line is not only responsible for the new products, but keeping in stock our existing products. So we don't have a lot of control of exactly when these things are produced. Shipping still worldwide is quite a bit of challenge. So even if we told you a specific date, we wouldn't want to under promise at this point. So signing up for an email indication is the easiest way for us to tell you exactly when you can buy this product. But with that foamer, it's going to be early 2023.
Yep. Barry Henderson asked, oh man, there I lost it, wow. Ceramic metal will last approximately how long? So I don't think we covered that one directly last night, so we're going to hit it right now. It's always tough to put an exact time frame on a protectant because there's so many variables involved that affect that time frame, whether it be where the vehicle is stored, how it's maintained, how you wash it, and so on. But we're saying similar durability to our standard ceramic all-in-one. As Nick said yesterday, they feature a very similar protection package. So the ceramic metal polish will last up to a year in most scenarios when it's maintained with a pH balanced soap and used on a surface that's not exposed to dramatic heat cycling. If you have it on a set of wheels or an exhaust or something like that, that will shorten the life with the heavy heat cycles.
And obviously lower an exposure to more road grime as opposed to something that's higher up above the belt line.
But on on a chrome bumper or something like that, a vehicle that's maintained well, washed with a pH balanced soap, you can expect up to a year. I'd say about 9 to 12 months in most scenarios there.
Okay, I'm gonna get into my base physics understanding, and Bevan McCain asked, will a full ceramic covered vehicle get better gas mileage? I'm gonna go ahead and say 9, no in German. Really, the biggest thing that's gonna affect your gas mileage as it relates to how air travels over it is your coefficient of drag, or drag coefficient. And if you're driving a Jeep Grand Wagoneer like I am, and it's always gotten 10 miles per gallon, it's because it's a square piece of metal pushing air through or braking air as horsepower is designed to do. So,
and that big throaty V8 makes it a little hard to keep your foot out of it.
I'm not worried about that, but I'm just suggesting that surface tension is going to be a lot less consequential than your drag coefficient. So if you got a really low drag coefficient car, like most Corvettes are, and you have ceramic coating on your vehicle, no, you're not going to see observably better gas mileage. I would think something that is really dependent on low drag coefficiency, such as a race car, may benefit from having something that is slick on there. Now, I'm not going to make any claims about that, but on most consumer vehicles that you're driving on the road, I doubt it's going to make a difference. So that was just a fun one.
Yeah.
And then Bill B asked, This is just a categorical question I think we get a lot. Wound up buying a black SUV. Anything I should watch, learn, take into consideration to take proper care of black paint? I think we've given ample answers to this, and in general, follow the safest washing procedures possible if you're caring for a car with darker colors, because they are not necessarily more sensitive, but they show surface defects more. So you don't necessarily care for it differently than you would a lighter colored vehicle, but the same care regimen will yield different observable traits because of that dark base coat. So with a black car, I think a foaming maintenance wash is generally the way to reduce the amount of touching you do to a black vehicle.
Don't take it through the car wash tunnel.
Don't take it through a car wash tunnel, but no, on a base coat color, top coat clear black car, there's really no difference. You're just going to see different results because any flaws within that clear coat are going to be magnified by a darker base coat.
Yeah. From the standpoint of buying a car, it sounds like you're looking to purchase something for your kid. Black is going to make it easier to see any potentially repaired spots or paint or body issues on the vehicle that you're going to purchase.
Also going to let you know if your kid's taking care of your car.
Absolutely, yeah. And teach them good habits early.
Yeah.
If you can learn how to take care of black paint, you can.
I was the standard for my dad too.
Yep.
I was the wheel boy. I worked my way up. I got belt line and below on his black 740i.
Yep.
And when I could wash that car without missing a spot, he knew, okay, yeah, I can trust this kid.
Yeah.
Took a while.
It's good process. Billy Pipes asked, is it safe on white walls, referring to the wheel tire matte cleaner? Yes, that is safe on white walls. That question came up a few times yesterday, so we wanted to make sure to get to that. It's actually going to be a pretty solid cleaner for white walls. That high pH is going to do a good job at drawing out any discoloration. Keep in mind, white walls, if they're aged, they do get to a point where you can no longer get them back to bright white anymore. So just keep that in mind. But other than that, great for white walls.
Okay, and safe for aftermarket matte finish wheels. Again, we've matte finish wheels in particular in the aftermarket and even the OEM space. That is a place where you want to consult the OEM, whether it's in your the actual aftermarket wheel manufacturer and them having an understanding of what products are safe for that finish. Some of them use different type of products. We just had a wheel manufacturer in here the other day. They said, hey, we powder coat nothing. We only use clear coats on our wheels. We use a matte clear from time to time. And we could tell them, reliably, this is how you treat it. If you have any doubt, again, first consult your owner's manual, potentially consult the dealer whether you need to go through a pH neutral regimen or can use something like an alkaline cleaner. So definitely take the step. Matte finished aftermarket wheel, it's probably going to be pretty spendy. Much like those wheels on that 200 series, they're matte finish BBS wheels. We can use this product on them. So that's not true for every wheel system. We've had some complaints about a very finicky Porsche wheel matte finish.
Yeah.
And that is not just related to our products. It has been a widespread issue with anything that is not pH neutral.
I think one thing I've learned a lot with matte finish wheels, specifically black matte finish wheels, is you want to keep them clean. Don't let them get heavily soiled. If you let brake dust take hold, it's going to start to stain and cause discoloration and weird issues that you're not going to like. So just keep them clean. I
had a black powder coated wheel. I powder coated it myself with a 20% satin. So it looked pretty matte.
Yeah.
I had just a little bit of sheen. And it was the OZ Aristos, their 18-spoke wheels.
Yep.
And so down deep in there where the brake dust would get hold, and I was at college, I couldn't clean it as consistently.
Yep.
I had pretty much permanent brown staining that
Yeah.
I just couldn't resolve. So
seems to take hold more on matte for whatever
yeah,
reason.
so frequent cleaning is easy cleaning with matte wheels. And in particular, dark wheels.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Bro Dizzle asks, is there a cure time for the tire dressing? Not the same as like ceramic 3-in-1 wax or ceramic all-in-one, where you have to wait 12 to 24 hours prior to exposing them to moisture. In our testing, we've done a lot of the wash and durability testing shortly after application and not noticed any differences. However, you're still going to want to let it set up, I would say 10 to 30 minutes depending on temperature.
Yeah.
So if it's cold in the garage, go closer to that 30 before you take the car out and drive. If it's pretty warm, 65, 70, in most of our testing that we've done indoors, it'll be dry to the touch in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, and you saw from the application, it's really hard to over apply. It's not an excessively thick gel or an aerosol applied, high silicone dressing where, hey, you want kind of some of that solvent to burn off and let the silicone set on the wheel. And if you've over applied, that top layer of silicone is going to sling off. I have observed absolutely no sling with a general application of that product. So I think in terms of maximum durability, I'd follow Sam's directions. If you want to apply it and drive away, I've got absolutely no concern that you're going to have any negative effects of that.
Yeah, we've had 0 sling from that product.
Yeah, it lays down pretty damn nice, and to your point, it's dry to the touch, which we had some questions about dust repellency later here.
Yeah.
All right, so Bruce the Boss asked, for the new gel wheel cleaner, do we need to just let it dwell, or do we need to agitate it for it to work? Now, if you've got a pretty well-maintained set of wheels, you can get a lot of work done by allowing it to dwell and rinsing it off with a high-pressure rinse, such as from a pressure washer. However, I think in general, on the wheel surface, I always recommend agitation, just because you can only get so much off chemically, and you definitely need to pull any ferrous particles out of the wheel surface just to rid them, because as it goes through heat cycles, as we mentioned before, it can start bonding to that paint, create a longer term issue. But from a tire perspective, you could get a lot of cleaning done just by allowing it to dwell. In both scenarios, you're going to get a superior result with agitation.
Yeah, and it's going to depend on time and how much brake dust you're getting to. Like on one of our vehicles, the pads are really low dusting and have ceramic 3-in-1 on the wheels, so I'm always pretty surprised how much comes off by just spraying it on, soaking and rinsing. But that's low dusting, good protection on the surface, and the wheels aren't getting too dirty. So that's a great process if you can do it frequently enough to keep it touchless. Bryce Miller asks, what is the recommended cleaning process for brand new tires? Is just one standard kind of cleaner sufficient? That's a great question. A lot of times new tires, you have all sorts of things like mold release. Sometimes you have some grease from the tire mounting machine. You can get
factory markings.
Yep, the factory markings, all the little green and red dots that nobody likes. I've even seen some very OCD folks where you'll shave the little fingers off the tire when they're brand new, so you have a perfectly clean, smooth sidewall. But yeah, there's definitely a process to that. I like using our rubber prep on a brand new tire because it does a really good job of cleaning off all of the factory markings and things like that. However, wheel tire mat cleaner is going to be a great solution as well. I haven't used that on a brand new tire, so I can't
actually
clean off the factory markings.
Without a doubt. I mean, but again, for my new car detail with my Bronco, I was being extremely thorough.
Of course, yeah.
So I was, taking the wheels off and really went after the whole thing because I did not have the dealer touch it at all. So I was just getting it as is, and I had all sorts of those dots. I actually had some kind of like grease pencil kind of X's and O's and VIN numbers on my tires. So definitely went after that. But yeah, all I used was wheel tire and mat cleaner. And our tire scrubbing brush, and I was able to get rid of most of that. So Bryce Miller also asked, I don't think rubber prep or wheel tire and mat are good.
Both.
Depending on, what else is on there. I didn't shave off those little fingers because that's how I'd show my dad I didn't do burnouts with the tires. Was if those things were still around, it means I didn't roll the tire at all. I wasn't drifting, wasn't doing anything silly, even though I probably was. All right, so Bryce Miller also had a great question comparing the Brilliant Finish Snow Foam to foaming surface wash and our Brilliant Finish car wash in terms of cleaning capability. So in terms of cleaning capability, what you're looking for with these foaming products is the amount of cling, the amount of softening they can do in your pre-soak step. Brilliant Finish Snow Foam and foaming surface wash, as we described yesterday, the only gap in terms of the dwell time is going to be the dual foam technology that is contained within the foaming surface wash, so you're going to get a slightly longer dwell. Even as the top layer of foam kind of runs off and pulls the heavier stuff with it, you'll still get this soapy film that is indicative of, again, that foam still clinging onto the surface. So I'd say that's going to be our ultimate pH neutral foaming solution. followed closely by brilliantly finished snow foam. As you saw yesterday, the foam output kind of compensates for that lack of that dual layer. You know, it's extremely foamy, and the weight of that can carry off, do a lot of cleaning for you. The weakest from a foaming perspective is going to be that brilliant finish car wash, not designed specifically for foam output. Definitely has the balance of being used in a traditional washing method. Still going to be very effective cleaner. All those high lubrication, pH neutral car washes. You're going to get your car cleaned safely with all of them. But in terms of the hierarchy, I think that's about as much as we need to say.
Yeah, said it perfectly. Bryce Miller had another great question. He asked, how do you recommend cleaning the metal surface before polish? Is claying the surface necessary? So to prep it for ceramic metal polish, yes, you want to do exactly that. Clay the surface just like you would paint to remove any contaminants that are stuck on, you know, things like tar, sap, and so on, so that you don't pick them up when you go to polish. It'll make your polishing process much easier and more efficient, and also give you a better result, as well as a longer durability out of the ceramic component of that ceramic metal polish. So you would prep it pretty much exactly like paint. So wash it or clean the residual dirt off, do a quick clay, and then you can always follow that with surface prep cleanser to remove any silicone or residues left behind, and then move on to your ceramic metal polish.
So a couple questions. Again, price point on the cordless foamer and sprayer, $130. Availability, early 2023. We already said there's no pre-ordering. If you want to find out more information, go to griotsgarage.com, search cordless foamer and sprayer, sign up for the email notification. That's the only email you're going to get relative to griotsgarage.com about that specific product. And then, yeah, we're excited about selling a lot of them too. We think it's a great innovative solution with the versatility of the foam and the sprayer. Somebody was asking, is it hard to switch out those pills? And I think you did a pretty good job explaining last night. It's not hard. You just kind of need some type of, like, what did you say?
Like a pick or
a pick, yeah.
Even like a pen, something like that. You know, my pocket knife wasn't quite small enough to reach through the small vents on that piece. Also got a great idea from one of our viewers last night. He suggested adding another one of those pills to the box so that you can have one set up with felt and one without. I think that's something that we can probably do before those are on a boat and headed for our warehouse. So we will look into that and do our best to add that extra component so that you can have one setup for your foam tip and one setup for your spray tip. That way it's an even quicker swap for you. So.
Of course, another solution is just buy two.
That too. I mean, that's really like, you know, until we have the new reservoirs ready, and even after that, having one, like I have one that's always set up for my sprays, non-foaming, just because, you know, not having to dump something back into the bottle.
You don't have to misrepresent.
Well, yeah, but have one set up so it's ready to go, and the other with your soap.
Yeah.
You're not fooling around with that.
I don't know if we're on track now, but Caleb Goebbels asked, does the water spout remover remove wax as well? Does it need to be followed up by anything? The answer, quite simply, is if it's a traditional Carnauba or traditional paint sealant, there is a likelihood, in fact, it's almost certain that the acid within that will compromise your base level of protection. As we emphasized yesterday, water spout remover, these chemical formulas are ideal for this modern high solid ceramic technology, which advertises chemical resistance, but still has a tendency to catch water and have water spots. Now, you don't want to remove that high solid ceramic coating. That's where the water spout remover comes in. Traditional protection technology, yeah, you're probably going to have to reapply. In terms of following up the actual dwell process and wipe spread or removal, you are going to neutralize it with water. And then, yeah, you're going to check your surface for any remaining water spots that would indicate, hey, I actually do have to polish. Or again, that water rinse is going to tell you what level of protection is left on your paint and whether or not you need to reapply it.
Yeah. Carol G asked, does wheel tire mat cleaner work well on WeatherTech plastic mats? Absolutely.
Lots of testing.
Many of us have WeatherTechs in our vehicles, and it works phenomenally on them. Used it on them last week on one of my cars. Let's see, what do we got next?
Is the future cordless orbitals? Asked Charles King. I think there's a place for both corded and cordless orbitals, right?
For sure.
I mean, in the professional versus enthusiast realm, If you're a pro that's always remote, you're polishing somebody's, car up on a mountaintop and they run their house on a generator, you better have a cordless solution, or you better have a generator that runs a corded tool.
Yeah.
Also, just the kind of investment of batteries and kind of running cordless tools, runtime challenges, severity of defects that you're chasing with a cordless tool. Now, granted, there's some pretty nice 15 millimeter cordless options out there. Some of them are quite bulky and heavier than the corded equivalent. So I think there's going to be room for both. There's always going to be a premium associated with cordless tools, whether they have brushless motors and the battery technology that you have to invest in to get those to run as effectively and for as long as a corded tool. So there's room for both, and there are differences and obviously utility for both of them, and price is going to be another driving factor for whether or not those will take over long term.
Yeah.
In technology, we generally see some pretty big deflation, right? You bought a flat screen TV, 40-inch one in 2005 for $1,000. That's going to be like $200 now, right?
Yeah.
So we may see that happen.
Yeah, and battery technology has come a long way and is advancing very quickly right now. So
Yeah.
it's definitely very possible.
Don't get us started
that
on
price
electric
will come
vehicles.
down.
We don't have enough time for that.
Not that battery technology. Oh man. Which of the new products can we expect first?
Charles Long.
Yeah, Charles King also asked,
Charles King and Charles Long.
They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
Oh man,
We've already produced ceramic metal polish, and part of that's just going through our QC
Yeah.
hold, so we observe that.
ceramic
So
metal
I
is
presume that will come to market pretty quickly. We've produced the bulk of the snow foam, so that's got to go through bottling. We've produced the bulk of wheel, tire, and mat cleaner. So pretty much all of the liquids. Water spot remover, I think, is very, very close.
Yeah,
as well.
getting bottled.
So this, in our production, in our quality control, we produce the bulk. We observe the bulk to make sure that it meets all our viscosity. We pull some out and test the performance relative to some of our previous production
Lab trials.
tests. And then we bottle, label, and release it after that. So our goal has always been early December, mid-December. I think we're well on track. I mean, it's the middle of November, and 4 of those 7 bulk liquids are produced.
Yeah, for sure. Coming soon. Does water spot remover require specific surface prep? This one was also Charles Long. Other than cleaning and decontaminating, no. Typically, in attempting to remove water spots, this is going to be situational to a point, because it's going to depend on what your subsequent processes that you're planning on doing are and what is on the vehicle already. So, for instance, if you have a ceramic coating on your vehicle and you're attempting to remove water spots that have formed in that coating, the primary preparation is just cleaning off any residual dirt or debris. You wouldn't want to clay prior to water spot remover, because you could potentially mar that coating, which is then going to require polishing. So that is a situation where you wouldn't decontaminate if you're working on water spots on an existing ceramic coating. However, if you're working on water spots on something that you're going to put new protection on afterwards, that would be a situation where I would recommend claying prior, because sometimes if the water spots are new, clay will remove them. That's pretty unusual. Normally they will have etched in if they've been on for more than a few days, but occasionally you may see some improvement with a mechanical decontamination with paint cleaning clay or a surface prep mitt, and then you may not need to do the water spot remover, or at least not as heavily. So a couple different scenarios there depending on what you're up against.
All right, so Dave Nyack had a couple great questions. What's the dwell time on the new wheel, tire, and mat cleaner? Again, this is one of the things we focused on in development, right? These water thin ones that give you about a 30 to 60 second window where you're, hurriedly agitating it on the wheel surface in particular, because those could damage it with the runoff and how thin they were, potentially drying on the surface. So our clinging gel in this formula gives you a lot more working time. I think reliably, I'd say 60 to 120 seconds on the wheel surface itself. On the tire, as long as you can let it go without drying. The more work that does on the tire surface, the easier it's going to be to clean your tires. You're just going to see it brown up. But I mean, if you're trying to do this rapidly, about 60 seconds of setup work or setup time for the chemical to actually do its job on the tire and the wheel surface is probably the baseline. But again, really this is a gel that's not going to evaporate on you, so keep your eyes on it. And so long as you don't fall asleep at the wheel and go do something else before coming back to clean your wheel and tire, you're going to have a really enjoyable experience without a lot of pressure. But yeah, I wouldn't test your luck either.
Yeah.
So about 1 to 2 minutes probably the ideal. And then does it leave behind a gloss, or do I need to apply a tire dressing? You're going to have a pretty neutral surface on your tires in particular after using this tire cleaner or wheel and tire cleaner. So unless you like that bare rubber, I would pretty much always recommend some type of tire dressing. Our ceramic tire dressing is a great option. Like we demonstrated yesterday, it's going to have nice UV inhibition and nice dark, rich finish. But no, there's no gloss left behind on your tire or wheel surface from that wheel tire mat cleaner.
Yeah.
So great questions, Dave.
Chris Pacheco asks, can it be plugged in and used at the same time? I imagine you're referring to the micro polisher. Yes, it can with the power inverter that is sold separately. So on the micro, it will have a power inverter available where you simply unhook your battery, slide your power inverter in, and the cool thing about our power inverter is it features the same plug as our quick disconnect cord on all of our other tools. So you can plug your quick disconnect cord in there. Makes it easy to store and convenient. So you only have one cord going to the wall when you're detailing. So yes, you can operate it powered at the wall. You know, if you want to run like that to begin with because you're doing a large job, or your battery dies and you need to finish, get the job done.
All right, we did answer this question yesterday, but Davidson's Detailing asked, any plans for a higher pH snow foam for cars that are pretty dirty? Our foaming surface prep is an excellent solution for that specific question. This is an alkaline or high pH cleaner. Kind of call it a strip wash, but same great kind of dual layer foam, lots of dwell time. And this is really kind of our one we'd consider almost a chemical decontamination. Right?
Yep.
This is a product we're going to be using ahead of more substantial correction or protection applications, to strip off any remaining protection, or again, just create a neutral surface for your decontamination or mechanical decontamination steps. But yeah, this is our high pH foaming solution, a foaming surface prep. And then on top of that, he asked any plans for a expanded cordless system. And I'll say, look, we learned a lot about developing this tool. This is one of our longest development timelines for a tool, is 4.5 years, in particular navigating the patents that we incorporated into this, right? Our own unique patents, but navigating other existing patents, and developing a battery for this tool that is proprietary. Now, that doesn't mean that something is imminent, but I can tell you the success of this tool will definitely make us look very hard at the future of cordless options in our line.
Yeah, if you want more cordless ones, buy the micro.
Yeah, and as you can see, we have 2 cordless options that we debuted this year. There's a reason for that. They have a great niche in our product line, and we believe that they would do very well. And so far, based upon the feedback we're getting from all you, not only on this live that we had Wednesday, but at SEMA and between, I think we're going to do quite well with these 2.
Everybody loves convenience. Just keep in mind there is a cost to convenience.
Yeah, and for whatever you believe about us as a company, we are not a tiny mom and pop shop. We are a family-owned business. We're not DeWalt in Milwaukee.
No.
So we've got to buy and design our own things.
Yeah.
And in a lithium market that is now with electric vehicles and those big power tool players, we got to really fight for some attention to get our own stuff designed.
Yeah, and with batteries too, it's like there's good batteries and there's bad batteries. There's a reason all the big guys use the good ones, and it can be tough to get access to those same quality batteries because of all those massive companies.
You just got to pay. Yeah. That's all at the end of the day.
Yep. Let's see. Clifford Wirtz asks, do your tire cleaning products and dressings contain petroleum distillates which can cause premature aging? So first, just to kind of debunk a little bit of a myth there, saying that all petroleum distillates cause premature aging in tires is just like saying that all silicones are bad for your paint in your car. It's simply just not true. these are generalizations that have been made on the internet and in other places because there are certain types of petroleum distillates that can cause damage or premature aging to rubber. However, we always ensure that we're doing our due diligence to make sure that we are putting safe chemicals in our products, not only chemicals that are safe for you, but also chemicals that are safe for the surfaces they are intended on. We're all car guys. We would not use our products on our own vehicles if they were going to damage something. I can tell you, matter-of-factly that none of our tire dressings are going to damage your tires.
I can tell you there's a lot of people on the internet that say things like that
Yeah.
to gain credibility when, at the end of the day, for us, we don't have to pretend that we know that. We can simply ask our chemists.
Yeah, well, the internet's a big game of telephone, you guys. It's like you see
I'm
one
the
thing
authority.
somewhere and
Listen to me. This is my YouTube channel. I have 50 subscribers.
Yeah.
And I am a chemist in my free time. In
Yeah,
my mom's basement.
not trying to pick on you at all, Clifford,
No,
because we
no.
hear these things all the time. Just want to make it clear that some petroleum distillates can be bad for rubber, but not all.
I want to be clear. I'm not picking on Clifford
No,
either. It's
yeah,
simply
no.
that people can make some pretty grandiose statements on a platform where they're not really checked. I think
Yeah,
we've had that
exactly.
issue in our politics and a bunch of other places.
Lots of things.
But
Internet's wild west.
in general, I think your qualifying answer is about as good as it gets, right? It's just like we talked about with ceramic and graphene.
Yeah.
There are some great graphene products. There are definitely people that are taking advantage of graphene as a term and a trend
Yep.
to get you to believe that there's more to it.
line their
So
pockets.
just be careful with making big, deep diving statements there. And at the end of the day, from our perspective, as Sam mentioned, this is stuff that we develop for ourselves first. If we're creating short-term solutions for our own cars, I'm going to be pretty mad at myself.
Yeah, I don't want to have to go buy some of competitors' tire dressing because ours are, making my sidewalls crack or something like that. That's not a company I want to work for.
Yeah, so again, hear us clearly. We are not negging the question. We're just probably understanding that it came from probably hearing a couple different perspectives that were half-formed.
Yeah, and some of the tire manufacturers will make these generalizations because, it's just like when you look in your owner's manual and it says to clean everything with mild soap and water on your car or things like that. It's like the manufacturers are making these generalizations because they understand that if they recommend, if they don't make these generalizations, people are very literal. You go out and grab something and it damages and then they're liable because they didn't tell you this.
A wise man once said about America, we live in the land of life, liberty, and litigation. And those limited liability terms exist for a reason.
Yeah,
it is
exactly.
to limit liability because of the potential for litigation.
Yeah, exactly.
We've all learned something today.
Yeah.
All right, Greg Zeck, longtime participant. Good to see you again. Thank you for participating. Is it true that you can use snow foam as a way to decorate for Christmas? Not recommended. If you have a fake tree, sure, foam it up. Maybe
We did do that a few years ago, yeah.
It does not hang or last.
Pretty temporary.
Yeah. All right, and then his second question was actually irrelevant, and we answered yesterday. So my misstep. I was looking down at Jeremy Charette. Jeremy was drinking Eagle 10 or Eagle Rare 10 year. So we had a lot of bourbon heads with us last night.
From his Magnum bottle, too.
Yeah,
He was
exactly.
Buying in bulk.
Those like Magnum Eagle Rare things, that's like a home defense weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, if you keep one of those bedside, you can swing that and crack someone on the skull pretty well.
Easily. All right.
We're moving.
Yeah.
We're moving.
See. So
Sorry, guys. Again,
Good one.
as we mentioned, we're reading from about a 4 or 5 point font because we had over 3,500 unique comments yesterday. If you did not see, Luis Mendoza was our grand prize giveaway winner. We showed a little video of how we selected it, which was completely randomly. So Luis, again, you have until next Tuesday, the 23rd, to call us, email us at social@griotsgarage.com and claim your prize. You're going to have a very happy Thanksgiving with over $2,000 worth of stuff coming your way. And we do want photos. You found one yet?
Yeah, I got two good ones. So Jeremy Charette asked, what's the benefit of ceramic metal polish? Will it protect the polish finish after polishing? Of course. So the big benefit of the ceramic in there is that it's going to preserve the work that you've done. Metal is a surface where you polish it. If you don't protect it with anything, you're going to be back to square one, sometimes in a matter of weeks. or less, depending on the environment. So getting that durable protection down preserves the time that you spent, the work that you got done, and ensures that you're not going to have to come back and polish it again a month later. Jeremy also asked, will the APC come with a mixing spray bottle, or will you be able to purchase a separate bottle and sprayer? Yes, so we have a dilution bottle specifically for APC. It has an APC label on it with all of the various dilution ratios for the different tasks. Even has a checkbox so that you can check the dilution ratio that is in that dilution bottle, so that you can buy multiples. You know, if you're a professional or you like doing detailing a lot and you love the APC, you can buy 3 different dilution bottles and have all 3 dilution ratios mixed up and ready to go at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
that will be sold separately.
Yeah.
I mentioned that.
So JMC asks, first time here, please help me out with a Christmas gift for my husband. What is the best new product for him in the $50 to $150 price range? Well, JMC, I don't know your first name, but I would suggest that if it's your first time here, welcome. Your husband's going to be very happy with whatever you buy him from Griot's Garage. I would get on our email list or follow us on Instagram or Facebook right away, because this Black Friday sale that we have coming up will be awesome. And you'll be able to buy kits and other products that will be discounted in a way that you could give your husband a solution, right? If he has leather seats and you want to get him one of our leather care kits, there's probably going to be a good price break on top of an already good one with our kits. But that would be the first place I would start in general if you wanted to buy something today. Look at our kits. You can find something that may be near and dear to his heart and get a full package of the right towels, applicators, cleaners, and conditioners for whatever purpose he may like the most. So that's where I'd start. And then, yeah, check out our Black Friday sale, which will start the day after Thanksgiving. We will also have a Cyber Monday follow-up. So sign up for our email or follow us on social to be alerted to all that. But the time is right to get your husband in the fold, and you'll probably have a clean car out of the deal.
Yeah, buddy. I just wanted a quick call out to Dennis MacArthur. I found your comment in here. You were the one that gave me the idea of including or providing additional pills for the cordless foamer and sprayer. So great idea. You mentioned having them available to buy. We're going to try to do you one extra and include an additional one with the foamer. So keep an eye out for that. What we got next?
Okay, Kevin Clancy asks a question about the wheel, tire, and mat cleaner. We had a lot of questions around that, so yeah. I think another good sign. We're pretty proud of that product. But can you compare it to using wheel cleaner and foaming tire cleaner separately, solely on cleaning ability, and will it strip any ceramic wax applied to the wheels? So without a doubt, there is a difference between the combination wheel, tire, and mat cleaner versus our standard pH neutral wheel cleaner and our alkaline foaming tire cleaner, which is aerosol delivered. So in that 2-step process with 2 different products, you're applying a pH neutral chemical to the wheel face, which could be the best path forward if you have a sensitive wheel surface, which again, we kind of talked through. Check your OEM, your user's manual, or if you're buying an aftermarket wheel and that aftermarket manufacturer has a recommendation for type of wheel cleaner to use. But in terms of the tire cleaning, you're going to have very comparable results. Both of those products, the foaming tire cleaner and wheel, tire, and mat cleaner, being alkaline, tires being less sensitive to alkaline or non-pH neutral cleaners. So I think that's the biggest difference. If your wheel surface is sensitive to an alkaline-based cleaner, avoid wheel, tire, mat cleaner and use that 2-step process you've already done. And then will wheel, tire, mat cleaner compromise a ceramic wax base layer? If you have a high solid ceramic coating on the wheel, I would suggest you're at no risk at all. However, a more alkaline-based cleaner is going to have a higher tendency to diminish surface protection than a pH neutral cleaner will. So on our ceramic 3-in-1 coated wheels, I have not seen substantial diminishment or diminishing effect from using wheel, tire, and mat cleaner, but I generally keep my wheels pretty clean, don't have a lot of heavy dwell or heavy agitation. But if you're resetting wheels after a long time, I think your protection's probably already cooked by that time. Yeah. And so it's not going to necessarily be the actual cleaner that's compromising the ceramic protection.
Class Act asked, let's see, well, he first asked, what's the pH of the snow foam? We've mentioned that a few times. Just to reiterate, pH of 7, it's pH balanced, so it's not going to strip wax or sealant or degrade a ceramic coating. The next question you asked, which I wanted to address, was my daily driver has a high quality ceramic coating and I need a pre-wash that can do all the heavy work. That's why the pH number should be higher than 7. So that's confusing to me, because if you have a high quality ceramic coating on your vehicle, like, yes, an alkaline wash isn't necessarily going to strip it in one hit, but using acidic or alkaline products on coatings, if you're using it repeatedly at every wash, over time is going to degrade your coating. So I think you may want to skip using a high pH every time and reserve it for the situations where you have, heavy soiling and you need something to cut through that fast. And instead employ a pre-wash with a pH balanced soap to cut off the heavy grit and abrasives that could potentially put wash and do scratches into the finish, and then repeat that again with your pH soap. That's going to maintain your ceramic and keep it durable and hydrophobic for longer. If you're continually using a high pH, like strip wash type product or foaming surface prep type product at every wash, even on a high solid ceramic coating, over time that is going to rob some of your hydrophobicity and shorten the life of that coating.
Well, and you can see that play out in like every single YouTube comparison test.
Yep.
It's what we do on our standard, durability comparisons.
Yeah.
We do pH neutral washes up to a certain point where, okay, we've got a durable base layer that this pH neutral is not really affecting, right?
Yeah.
It's starting to slow the water down. And then as soon as we introduce alkaline cleaners, or if we reverse the order and start with alkaline cleaners, we're not going to get as many pH neutral washes till that protection goes away. So we've observed this many times, and if you again do see the torture tests on YouTube, which take what you will from them, but in any time they're introducing a non-pH neutral chemical or a high pH chemical, they're accelerating the degradation of that protection. So I think to your point, Sam, it's a matter of preference, and like if you're not washing every week, if you can wash with a maintenance wash when the car is more lightly dirty, and then wash with a more alkaline wash when it's extremely dirty, for the benefit of, yes, heavier lifting, heavier breakdown of those. The back end is going to be, what's your maintenance step? Are you doing a ceramic based drying aid? Are you topping it?
Exactly.
So just keep those in mind, and I think with all those kind of perspectives in mind, at the end of the day, we're making that suggestion based upon what we've seen with high solids, ceramic infused, graphene,
across
stuff we do every day, right? So that's where we're coming from there.
Yeah, there's a lot of statements made about coatings where manufacturers will say these are resistant to highly alkaline or acidic products. That is absolutely true, but resistant doesn't mean completely impervious to, so those types of cleaners will affect the hydrophobicity and protection over time if you're not doing anything to replace it in between.
Yeah, so again, we've got way too many questions to get to. Let's run down the list just so we can give everybody the MSRPs and expected launch dates. So
lots of questions on
this. So we started off yesterday, wheel tire mat cleaner. Again, we're presuming mid-December, $11.99 for 25 ounces, $49.99 gallon. On the brilliant finish snow foam, 48 ounces, $19.99. We're presuming, again, early to mid-December release date for that. The cordless foamer and sprayer, $129.99. We're presuming early 2023 delivery for that product. Once again, you guys seem to like that one quite a bit. The water spot remover spray, 22 ounce for $13.99. And then our gel, which we did not demonstrate yesterday, that will be slightly behind the spray, will be a $15.99 pint, 16 ounces. Ceramic metal polish, as we mentioned, this is the first one that we produced and bottled, but it's still in our QC process right now. That is 16 ounces, $19.99. That'll be early to middle of December. After that, our citrus all-purpose cleaner concentrate, which again, if you heard yesterday, our SEMA crates haven't arrived with all of our mocked up or labels.
Unlabeled lab formula.
So that's going to be available both in 35 ounce and gallon sizes. It's a $9.99 35 ounce, a $24.99 gallon, and then the separate dilution bottle, which will have the measurements for all three of those dilutions, is $4.99. Ceramic tire dressing, good God, we're still going. 22 ounce bottle for $19.99. Once again, early, middle December availability. A gallon of that will be $69.99. And then finally, the Boss Hybrid Micro Polisher, which we're presuming will be spring 2023 or sooner. We will let you know as soon as we can. That is $399.99. That will come with the 1, 2, 3-inch backing plates, the rotary extension shaft, which was what petered out on us yesterday after the prototype stripped out because it's made of aluminum as opposed to the steel, which will eventually be 13 millimeter orbital counterbalance, a carrying case, the charger, and 1 battery. And then you'll have extra batteries, a rotary extension shaft, and the inverter available as options. Whew.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. I'm glad you took all that.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Once again, congratulations, Luis Mendoza, on winning the grand prize package of our Ultimate Detailing Cart. Again, you have until Tuesday, November 23rd, to reach out to us at social@griotsgarage.com to claim your prize. If any of you all know Luis, let him know. We're looking for him. Otherwise, somebody else in those massive slew of comments is going to win.
Yeah, we don't have to spin that wheel again, but we will.
Yeah.
Hit us up, Luis.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Have fun in your garage.
Have fun in your garage.